Okay. Hello everybody, and welcome to another scattered episode of the Innominate Anime Podcast. And with me today is Remy from the Lily Garden.
Hello.
And today we'll be talking about some of our favorites and not so much favorites from spring 2018.
Yeah, we're talking about the shows we love and the shows we hate.
Yay!
Woo. Yeah,
So
it's just us two today, but
yeah, everybody else is busy because they have lives apparently.
yeah, those losers. We might as well call ourselves the BPP or something, the Busy Person Podcast. I don't know. It's been a while.
Yeah, I know, right?
So yeah, do you want to start off? Do you want me to start off?
Doesn't matter either way.
Got it. Um, well, I guess I'll start off then. So the top three shows of the spring 2018 anime season for me would be Hinamatsuri, Otaku ni Koi wa Muzakashi, and Uma Musume Pretty Derby. So, I'm really enjoying Hinamatsuri a lot. I'm sure Scott also is finding it a fun watch.
Oh yeah,
It's it's good comedy, right? It's
yeah.
it's it's like wholesome. Like the most recent episode, they touched like there's a big misunderstanding about underage prostitution, but it's obviously they weren't going actually that far, just kids being kids. Other than that, it's just the characters commit to being silly, which is amusing. And I just what do you think about the main character, Nita? I guess he's the main character. Would you consider
I don't know.
him the
Is
main
he?
character?
I guess he's just like the adult figure that has nothing to do with his daughter.
Figure, yeah.
And like, yeah, like, you want to buy TV? Here's money. I don't want to talk about it.
hmm it's funny because like if you look at the synopsis, Nita is like very important according to like the summary. Like oh yeah, he's a yakuza. And he picks and he sort of takes in this younger girl under his wing, but then in like more recent episodes, he kind of plays like a supporting role. Especially in this episode, he just gives Hina some money. That's about it.
And he complains about it later on. Yeah, that's all he does. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
And
I think like in the first couple episodes, I was like, I found him like interesting to watch because like he was reasonable enough, I guess, considering the circumstances, and I just like his retorts. He's a funny guy because like there's always gonna be a guy who's observing the absurdity and like retorting and commenting about how absurd it is. That's the basic formula for Japanese slapstick.
you
You
know,
know,
it's pretty classic comedy in general. I mean, you need to have the straight
true.
man.
He's a straight man for sure. But yeah, I guess he's a major reason why I like the show, even though he's like a background character at this point. But what do you think about Anzu or Hitomi or
I
even
like
Hina?
I like all three of them.
Yeah.
I like he told me takes up a good straight man too, because
Mm-hmm.
he's just thrown in these situations like, why am I here? How did this happen? And Anzu as well, too charming. She's too charming.
Yeah. She's really gotten better as a character. Early on, she was like pretty annoying, but like becoming homeless has really humbled her. Made me like really respect her. I guess she works hard for that money.
I know. And Hina, well, she's kind of on and off main character too.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have a lot of focus this time besides being mascot.
I mean, Nita must be so confused. He gives her money because he tells him he tells her no, she tells him that she wants a TV, and then there's no TV, and she spent all on a taxi fare. Just imagine like Nita will never know.
I know. So strange.
Very strange. But yeah, there's always like a I feel like there's always like a sore loser. Well, not a sore loser, like someone who suffers for these kind of comedies, and I think Anzu does a pretty good job dealing with that, I guess. And also Nita, you know, they kind of
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
their suffering is our enjoyment, unfortunately.
Oh.
So that's Hinamatsuri. I think it's a great show. It's very funny to watch. It comes out on Fridays, and it's a good way to take the edge off things. Just watch a funny show and just forget about your work day or work week.
Yeah. Agreed.
So the second show I wanted to talk about is Otaku ni Koi wa Muzakashi, otherwise known as It's Difficult to Love an Otaku. And it's basically a rom-com featuring otaku, and it's otaku who are being portrayed in a light that isn't completely negative, which is refreshing because sometimes otaku are shown as creepy or weird. Same thing with Fujoshi as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, I've been following this series for a while as a manga, and I'm very pleased with this adaptation. I think you and I have different favorite characters, though, right? You like Narumi?
Yes, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And who's yours? I keep
Uh,
forgetting. Sorry.
oh man, I like him a lot, but I forget his name. It's the orange haired guy.
Oh, you,
The
the more laid back, casual one.
Yeah, the casual otaku.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a little rough around the edges, but just he's pretty cool. Like he gets his moments. So far, he's kind of a little lame, I guess, but later on, I think he's not bad.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
mhm.
Like, I don't think the cast is bad at all.
No, not at all.
I
Like
feel like I know every single one of them in real life somewhere.
mm-hmm. That, and I can like relate to like what they're talking about. For
Yes.
for for the most part, I've never really cosplayed before, but
Yeah, neither have I.
yeah. But
But
I know of cosplaying, and my friends have cosplayed, so it's
I
something.
I definitely know about staying up late at night watching things and then doing anime related things.
That's the life of an anime blogger, dude.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, that's definitely something we're all familiar with. Uh, how do you feel about like all the references the show throws in? I'm loving it personally.
Yeah, I really like it too. It doesn't
Mhm.
seem too ham-fisted at all.
Mhm.
Just goes with their characters.
Mhm. Just it just I don't know. It's just I guess it's a fan serve. It's kind of like a show that appeals to people who are basically otaku, and that's fine. We can really resonate with these characters.
I think the best thing is like it doesn't solely have just references. It actually has a lot of
Mhm.
emotional things too. It's just
Mhm.
if you don't know these references, you're not going to be thrown or throw out this series because you don't
Yeah,
know it.
definitely. It's just like a cherry on the top, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm. Yeah, it's yet another funny comedy show. Uh, that's the kind of shows. I mean, comedy is so subjective, but I find both Hinamatsuri and Watakoi very funny shows, and that's why I like them so much.
Yeah, I can't fault you for that because I like them too. I mean, maybe not much of Walt's Koi,
Mm-hmm.
but I do like it quite a bit here.
Fair enough. And then the last one is Uma Musume Pretty Derby, and I gotta admit, I admit it doesn't quite match up with the other two. It's supposed to be an underdog story, but like the main character who's supposed to be an underdog is like she never really experiences any long lasting setbacks. I mean, she loses in one episode and then she bounces back in the very next episode, and she's considered like world class already. And there's no like real sense of like, oh, I gotta claw my way up to the top. She's already at the top.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I I guess like I have a soft spot for anything released like that Lantis gets involved in because dang, I like the OP and ED. Like I was listening to it at work and it's like, wow, I got a little sad at work. It was a little embarrassing, but but
I
that's
do
like
that all
still
the time.
yeah. It's like we're getting older.
I know.
Animes, we don't have enough time as for anime. These hopeful dreams that conveyed in anime lyrics and stuff. It
Yeah,
just we got to face reality. We're working 8 to 5s, 9 to 5s.
I know. Yeah, like I snuck in like an hour of seasonal anime yesterday when I was working overtime. So yeah.
Ooh. You didn't get caught, did you?
Oh no,
Thank goodness. Good call though.
I thought so.
Yeah. But yeah, I it's I feel like there are a bit too many characters to keep track, and some of the other characters just don't receive enough characterization. But I'm still having fun with the show. It's just funny things happening in the background. Like there's one character who's always eating. She wins a eating contest, and then the next scene she's shown eating again. You know, just a big eater. But I mean, oh, I also don't really like the trainer. Like everyone said this already, but like the fact that he rubs the girl's legs without their consent is not good. Not needed. Yeah, it's definitely like a show that I kind of hesitate to recommend, but I'm having fun with it. So
That's
it's
all
like
that matters.
hmm?
Sorry, that's all that matters.
It definitely is. Well, it's all that matters when it comes to like a guilty pleasure, and I guess this is a guilty pleasure for me. But yeah, that's my top three.
All right.
What about you, Scott?
Well, we already talked about Hina Matsuri, so I don't feel like we need to cover that one again.
Mm-hmm.
But another one that's been hitting for me for a lot of reasons is Full Metal Panic: Invisible Victory.
Mm-hmm.
It's a definitely a sequel because it just jumps in right after the second raid, which aired like 10 years ago.
Wow.
yeah, there,
2008.
yeah, there is no flashback episode or this is what happened. It just jumps right into the action, but it's so well put together that it never felt like it left at all.
Wow.
Like, I'm not gonna say any massive spoilers if you're one of those people who's still watching it, or because it's still like I would not recommend this show to people who are newcomers to Full Metal Panic at all.
Mm-hmm.
But it all everything that was from I guess from its entire run was still there. Like it still feels the same way. These characters still feel the same. They're actually drawn the same way too. I mean, only complaints I have is probably CG when it comes to some of the mech stuff, but it's pretty
Mm-hmm.
well done in general. And it's just every episode has been so soul crushing for me, but in a good way.
Like, is it like intense? Is it like really hard on the characters or something?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's exactly what it is. Like kind of a meat grinder. Like the I guess a little hint here. Like the last villain was more of a fun guy, or because he never took anything seriously. But now you have it
Mm-hmm.
replaced with somebody like deadpan. I'm going to destroy you no matter what. And the characters
Ooh.
are dealing with that situation, and it's really so like it's so good.
Was it worth the wait?
oh yeah, I would not. No matter what, I would have waited for this.
Mm-hmm. The seasons have a lot of shows actually. This particular season where like
yeah, I
um,
agree.
there's a lot of like throwbacks or reinstallments of older series, and I think it's great.
I, I'm glad that all of them are at least at a decent level. I think, like
Mm-hmm.
as far as I know, like from what I've watched.
Yeah. I kind of missed out on most of these shows. I personally don't know, but and like whether or not they're great. But I think most people are enjoying them. Maybe there's like a little controversy surrounding Fooly Cooly, but I
Oh
think
yeah.
I think that's some misinformation being involved there too. So I can't really say.
I mean, I read some things, but I'm not one to call for judgment because I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I think you might be the same way, maybe.
Maybe. But the bottom line is, so far you're having a lot of fun with Full Metal Panic: Invisible Victory, correct?
Yes, and
Mm-hmm.
I immediately watched Hinamatsuri after it because I need something to calm down from it. Yeah, like Hinamatsuri is the good feelings that come afterwards, so I don't go to bed like going ah.
I hear you. It's the
And
healing you need.
yes, exactly. And like my last one is Golden Kamui, which I think has been hyped up by everyone, but I think because of CG Bears, people haven't really liked it as much. But I really like what a lot of its content. Like I like how like we're learning about a different race of native Japanese. Like like we have our Native Americans here. They
Mm-hmm.
have the Ainu culture,
Mm-hmm.
and like that's one of the main focuses of the show. Like with one of the characters being from the Ainu descent, and they stay at a camp for a little while, and some of their culture is explained, which is really interesting to me. So I really like that historical aspect, and
Mm-hmm.
I love the two main characters. I it's hard to describe for me like what it's like,
Mm-hmm.
but like the young Native American girl, Native Ainu girl, sorry, and like to have I guess he's like Joseph Joestar, main
Who,
character.
Sugimoto?
Yeah, he
Yeah, I can
kind of
see it.
is.
Yeah, he's just
And like,
crazy.
yeah, and he just has these crazy schemes like, I'm the immortal Sugimoto, jumps into a bear den. Like,
Yeah.
okay. It's
Yeah.
just like, it just clicks on me. I mean, sure, the art and animation probably not best, but everything else been working out for me so far.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I like the fact that it's like a Japanese old western kind of thing.
That's a great point. Like, looks like there's like a bunch of factions like kind of shaping up. There, we've got the Ainu girl and Sugimoto, and then they're up against the Seventh Corp. I think the Seventh Corp, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, and then they're totally outnumbered, and it's looking a little bad for them right now. But we'll just have to see how that develops. The action's like intense. It's so brutal, actually.
yeah, I know. Like, especially when the bear does go on scene and like claws people or anything. So many other fights.
Yeah, like this isn't even related to a fight. It was kind of like a negotiation gone wrong. But like I ain't never gonna look at Dango sticks the same way ever again after the
Oh yeah,
last episode.
oh yeah, I agree. Like,
It's like,
oh
oh my
man,
gosh.
who does
But
that?
the the show does have some comedic moments though, and it really sells it with the faces. I think.
Yeah, I agree. Like,
Hmm.
you were absolutely right with that. It somehow finds a good balance between the comedy and the drama
Hmm.
somewhere.
Yeah, it's not like a mood whiplash or anything. They handle both aspects carefully, and it makes for a good product. I think at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So.
Just good stuff. Like,
Hmm.
the season is good.
Yeah.
Or,
I would say that the season has some good shows, but there's also some less than good shows, right?
oh yeah, that's so true.
Yeah. That's just every season, but there's some shows that kind of have us feeling a little disappointed.
Yeah, I'm definitely on that wavelength right now.
Hmm. Do you want to talk about those shows first, or should I go first?
I'll take this one first.
All right.
So, I know I'm from Mechanical Anime Reviews and all, but like all three of my disappointing shows are mech shows this season.
Nothing wrong with following what you love, dude.
Oh, fair enough. So first one is, well, Gundam Build Divers, which is their third Gunpla focused series, and well, I guess I wasn't sure what to expect from it this time because they're taking concept from last time and going like the virtual reality MMO kind of world. So you have basically a bunch of furries everywhere who build mechs. But I guess it's been getting better and having a focused plot, but it's definitely a kid's show because it's telling you every single thing that's going to happen before it hits sometimes, or have these characters are forcibly thrown into like the Gundam cosplay even though they don't want to, and it or something, or
Gundam cosplay.
oh yeah, like not the mechs, but like all the uniforms and everything, and
Mm.
or distinctive character outfits.
All
I
right.
mean, it's one of those series where I kind of wondering like with all the like gunpla and mech references and outfit references, like is it playing a little too hard to these references? To make sure people gun and fans like me stay on board because that's all it has at the moment, or you know,
So it does a less stutter job of like keeping a coherent plot aside from references. So like it's not as good at that compared to like say Watakoi, you would say.
yeah, exactly what I mean.
Mm. I mean, it's like fan service, I guess. Like Gundam, long time Gundam fans will probably appreciate the references and the allusions and maybe
Yeah,
the
but
parodies, but
they kind of take over a little too much for me, like,
mm-hmm.
and that because you combine that with the simple plots, and I'm just kind of wondering who it is for right now. I mean, I will say that it is getting better and a lot more focused as time goes
Mm-hmm.
on, but it's still kind of on that threshold, you know?
Yeah. I recall you saying something along the lines that the show seems to be more intended for children. At least that was your initial impression.
Oh, yeah, because first episode have one line like, make sure you only stay online for 2 hours so you can get your homework done. Pretty blatantly.
Hey, stop watching anime and go do your homework.
No, don't tell me what to do.
I'm a grown man. But yeah, I can see it. Mm. So it's like one of the shows you find a little disappointing, but it's still there's still room for improvement. You haven't completely given up.
Not yet. I
Okay.
mean, the latest episode, if anything, shows that there is definitely a plot developing, which is
Mm-hmm.
uh, it might be worth watching at least the core of it.
Okay. Yeah. You never really know, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm. All right.
And
I can
well,
see it.
yeah. And my next one is Space Battleship Tiramisu, which I will say these are 7-minute episodes that are focused on two separate gags, but like it's becoming a little tiring. I mean, it is that show that takes all the goofiness from all like say Gundam and say, well, what if the pilot had food thrown in his cockpit while he was flying around in space, or had his T-shirt stuck on backwards in mid-battle or something? So it does all that, but becoming kind of okay, the same thing over and over again, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's just about what I have to say about it.
Yeah, I heard it's all random. I guess got some absurdist humor going on.
Yeah, which I do enjoy, but it's kind of becoming pretty samey over time, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still like 7 minutes an episode is kind of like why not?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean,
Maybe, I don't know.
it's not like terrible, but it's like it's kind of just there, right? Kind of mediocre.
Yeah, just, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah, sorry.
No, no, nothing to apologize for. I think you're cutting straight to the point, which is good.
That's like half my blogging style right there.
That's totally great. I feel some people prefer it that way.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And then my last one is Darling in the Franxx, was I don't know what to say anymore. I guess I have so much to say that I don't have anything to say. like I mean, it was all over the place before it hit its random I guess time off.
Mm-hmm.
And now it seems like it's a very lame, I've seen this before a million times plot. So I kind of have complaints on both sides. Like that with a lot of social issues as well. Just like
Mm-hmm. Um, I'm actually kind of embarrassed. I'm still watching this show, to be honest.
yeah, me too. kind
Yeah,
of.
it's like anime kind of has like a stigma, correct? Among people who don't watch anime,
Yeah.
they judge it because like it's hard to blame them because a lot of anime shows there's incest, there's weird things going on that like only will only happen in anime. And Darling in the Fran is like one of those series that if you try to describe to someone who doesn't watch anime, they'll look at you weird. you know,
That
it's
does seem like half a Trigger's appeal though, but
yeah, yeah.
but I do agree with that. Like it does have so many of those elements.
hmm
It's like anime the anime. Yeah.
Yeah, that sums it up. I mean, it's I guess people are mostly upset with like I feel like Trigger always means well as a studio, and sometimes some of their projects like start out meaning well, and then they end well. I mean, so many people love uh the show with the drill Tangan Goren Lagan.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they love that show. It's a classic. But yeah, say Kill la Kill. People were kind of into it at first, and then they kind of maybe veered off away from what people were expecting it to do, and then people are kind of now. It's like very mixed reception wise, and then I guess it's kind of similar with Darling the Friend as well. I don't know. Some of the messages in Darling the Friend is just maybe not politically correct. I guess.
I agree with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like the whole swimsuit episode. Not the swimsuit episode. The boy versus girl episode. So that was like either before or after. I can't remember.
It
Um.
was the one right after swimsuit one, I think.
Yeah. Okay. The one right after. It's just Well, I wouldn't have known this because I didn't read. I took one class of gender studies, but apparently it reeks of gender essentialism. Basically, like anime feminists did a great article on it, and it's basically like, well, it boiled down to that episode's like, oh yeah, boys will treat girls poorly, and we just have to, us girls have to accept that kind of. I mean, the boys did say that, oh yeah, we'll try and improve, but it's like boys will be boys and girls will be girls. It's kind of an outdated message, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, because girls don't have to adhere to a certain activities or characteristics or traits to be considered girls. Girls can do boyish things too, you know, and vice versa.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that one. Like there shouldn't be divide like the show has. Like that and the way they treat their kind of gay and lesbian characters too.
Yeah.
Just
Are you
I
talking
mean,
about like Ikuno?
yeah. I mean, you throw them on the same mech. Like, what is that supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
or or the way they have their pilot suits in general is just like it's very strict. Well, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. It's probably because like they're kind of raised like in isolation, so they don't obviously have a solid understanding that girls being into girls is okay. Poor Ikuno has to suffer through it because the girl she likes doesn't really care for her, but well, she cares for her as a friend, but it's rough.
Yeah. And the
But
boy, which I keep forgetting his name, is
Mitsuru,
angry because yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it's just it's a lot of bad things, kind
mm-hmm.
of. And
At
yet
this
here
point,
we are. Sorry,
oh no, go ahead.
sorry.
What were you going to say?
No, like, and yet here we are. That's all I
Yeah,
was saying.
mm-hmm.
Like, go
What?
on. Sorry.
Oh, no problem. I was the one who interrupted you. But what I was going to say, like the 9 Alpha team, the team that 02 used to be a part of. Uh, the way they're piloting is very interesting compared to Plantain. Is it 12 or 13? Plantation 12.
Oh, is it 12?
I believe it's 12. Well,
Yeah.
the main character is Plantation. Like the 9
Oh, they're.
Alphas, they
Oh
have
yeah, the
like
13. Yeah. Oh, sorry.
oh, no problem. But what I was trying to say is like the 9 Alphas have like the guys are in front of the girls and the girls are behind them. Uh, that was like in I think it was episode 15. Yeah,
Oh
we got to see
yeah.
like see into their cockpits, and it looked like there was 2 girls in the cockpit as well. And it's just I guess it could be like a way to reference like maybe alternative lifestyles, LGBTQ, as like in compared to like the more heteronormative thing they got going on in the main character's plantation. But I thought that was interesting. I'm not sure if they'll
Yeah.
do anything with it, but
That seems like half of Darling Frank's problems too. Like, it seems
mm-hmm.
like almost everybody watching it is smarter than the writers of the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they have so many ideas that they never use.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's just a thing.
Yeah, it's like an IQ test, I guess. It's just like
Could
trying to
be.
see how smart you are.
Seems about right, actually.
Yeah. One last bit before we move on to the next show. I know we've been
Okay.
rambling about this but for a bit, but do you think it's fair to be comparing like this show to Neon Genesis Evangelion due to some similarities?
Um, I'm not completely sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it does have some blatant references, but like, same time, it's attempting to be its own thing
And failing.
and failing. Yeah. I've been trying not to, even though I see everything that is connection to Ava. Just, I'm trying not to.
Mm-hmm. It's it's hard not to. It's hard.
Exactly.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like you and I are kind of in the minority here. A lot of people like the show.
Yeah, I think seems about right.
Yeah. Okay. We could go on and on about Darnie,
I,
but we should
but
probably move on.
we could probably have podcasts later about that if we wanted to.
Definitely could. Um.
Your turn.
Oh, it's my turn. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry.
So no, no
Actually,
problem.
no. Sorry. There, it's your turn. Go.
I gotta accept it. I got it. Um. I guess the 3 shows that I am kind of disappointed by are Tokyo Ghoul, Tachibana-Kan 2 Lie Angle, and Maho Shoujo Site. Um, well, first off, I guess it's Tokyo Ghoul Re, and one of our fellow podcasters, Lethargic Thoughts, who couldn't be here today. He did he pointed out something very interesting in regards to how like the target demographic for this series, like not like the age of people who should be enjoying and consuming this series, but like who's it intended for? Because like people who are only following the anime and watch Tokyo Ghoul and then Tokyo Ghoul Route A, they're going to be confused because Tokyo Ghoul Re just picks up after the ending of the manga in Tokyo Ghoul, which went a completely different path from Route A. So like these anime only viewers are just lost. And then like for the manga only viewers, no, not manga only, because if they're watching the anime, they're watching the anime and reading the manga. But for people who read the manga, they're not gonna be happy with this adaptation too, because it's just zipping on by. Like the first episode, like it basically adapted 7 chapters in one episode. I remember I was reading Tokyo Ghoul Re, and I waited for like 2 months to receive confirmation that yes, the main character is indeed Kaneki. But we know that by episode 1.
Wow, so does it feel like this has any is it pointed towards anybody at all, you think? It's just
I
out in
don't
the
know.
open?
I guess it's trying to appeal to the people who've been following the manga, but so many scenes are being cut out that people are like getting upset. Like important scenes that like indicate characterization and kind of makes more sense. Like I think some people were saying, "Oh yeah, this character. Why did he get this scene?" It's like, well, it's because this scene was left out, and then this scene was left out, and now they decided to include this scene for some reason. So now it's jank.
Ah,
Yeah,
that's frustrating.
yeah. Um, and also the fact that there's like so much censorship that you can't really see what's going on. Like there's a lot of blood, a lot of dead bodies, but then like suddenly the bodies come like completely black on the screen. You can't see what's happening.
Hasn't that always been an issue with Tokyo Ghoul though?
Correct. That's basically like the Tokyo Ghoul anime special.
Ah,
So it's just like that's not really like something unique to Tokyo Ghoul Re, but it's just something to consider when you want to watch the anime. Um yeah, and also I would say there's several characters in that series that could be considered transgender, but one of them is not getting the scenes that kind of indicate that the transgender. It's kind
hmm.
of. I mean, people will disagree with me. Some people don't know if that person can be considered transgender, but it's just very telling that they decided to leave some of those scenes out. I think.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah. I should get so mad reading people's thoughts on Tokyo Ghoul Re. It's like I'm kind of mad at them, the readers, because the viewers, the people who are like saying their opinions, because like they could do a little research, but I'm primarily mad at like the studio, because like a series shouldn't have to go and read supplementary material to have you understand what's going on, right? I mean,
Yeah,
if that's the case, then the adaptation has failed.
exactly. Yeah, that's how I see it.
So that's all what Tokyo Ghoul Re is, in my opinion. It's a failed adaptation that's probably supposed to spur people who've read Tokyo Ghoul into reading Tokyo Ghoul Re, but no one's happy with the adaptation, I think.
Fun times.
Fun
No.
times, yeah.
No.
Tuesdays are the best. That's when it comes out. Oh, and then another series that comes out on Tuesdays is Tachibana-Kan light angle. So like Tuesdays are really the best. Terrific. They're great. But
They
this
are
one's a
for me. What I like comes out on Tuesdays.
well, what shows come out on Tuesdays for you?
Legend Galactic Heroes, Lupin Part 5.
That's a great show.
Yeah. But moving on. Sorry.
Yeah. So there's Lupin at least for me to sweeten the deal, but Tachibana-Kan to light angle, which is supposed to be a pun off triangle. It's a real forced pun. It's like not really good, but anyways, it's a 3 minute short, so every episode has 3 minutes, and it gets classified as yuri, and I guess it technically is. Not all these girls are basically gay. They are in heat, and their targets are the other girls in the dorm. But it's just uncomfortable because they're in high school, and there's so many like instances of nudity. I mean, it's basically like something you accept with anime, right? High school characters are going to be shown as good looking,
Yes.
and then we're going to consider them to be our waifus or our husbandos. There's going to be moments of fan service directed towards these high school characters, and that's okay because it's fiction. There's that boundary between real life and fiction that makes this kind of like adoration or obsession or fascination with these high school characters okay, because they're not real. If it was real life, it would be a little strange, considering their age. But so there's that. But I mean, there's so many series featuring like high schoolers, so it's like okay, sure. But it's just uninspired writing, I guess. There's in the first 2 episodes, there's the childhood friend who made some silly promise, was the main character, and she's upset she forgot.
Such cliche.
Yeah, the show is cliche. It took 2 episodes for them to resolve that little spat, but the show runs on cliche. And I'm only following it because I run a blog that should be covering Yuri, but I always branch out to other things. But it's like, it's a 3 minutes I dread to watch, you know. I would rather... I look forward to brushing my teeth more than watching this show.
Oh, damn.
But, yeah. That's my Tuesdays. At least there's Lupin, but...
Yep.
And then my last show's Mahou Shoujo Site. That's made quite a splash. Maybe it shouldn't be. It has.
That it has. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's a bit much for me to say it's my worst show, because like I'm still watching it. I guess I haven't watched the most recent episode, but I would say it's just like an average show. I guess it's a, I hate saying the word dark so liberally, but it's a darker take on the Mahou Shoujo magical girl genre.
Yeah, it definitely is. That's for sure.
Yeah. But
I agree with you. Like, it's not bad. It's just
average, I feel like.
Yeah. Completely watchable.
It's watchable. Like,
yeah.
And for people who don't like that kind of stuff, you can slow it down a bit and maybe watch it like in bits. Just like go meditate in between the bloody segments and then come back.
Well, I will say that it cuts down a lot after the first episode.
Yeah. The first episode is like, okay, we gotta go in and we gotta go in hard. We're gonna leave a mark, get people talking. Bad publicity is good publicity. Publicity is publicity. They just went in. But I don't know. I've been reading the manga for a while now. I went back after the show started airing and caught up. to caught up a little bit. It just seems like the despair isn't really leading to anything. These girls are suffering for little to no reason other to just because they're unfortunate.
Yeah.
And the reason why Madoka and maybe Yuki-Yuna and other similar shows that are considered darker takes on the Magical Girl series were like widely appreciated is because underneath that layer of darkness there's like a bit of hope, you know? Not everything is bleak.
Yeah,
But
that seems pretty accurate.
yeah, I know you don't particularly care for Madoka, but it's like,
Oh, I do like it. I'm
mm-hmm.
just not gonna say that it's the best thing ever.
Oh no, it's not. It's not the best. It's a good show, I'd say, but I don't get that feeling from Mahou Shoujo side. These girls are suffering for little to no reason, and it's kind of just it's just kind of happening to grab our attention. It feels like.
Yeah, yes, I agree with that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it is kind of there's good stuff in it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
there's good development for characters here and there, and like the drama is it's okay,
Yeah,
but doesn't seem like it's going anywhere at the moment.
yeah. Just we get introduced to more and more deranged people. That's about it.
Pretty
Um.
much.
Yeah.
I mean, I did have a lot of fun with the idol girl going insane, and her facial expressions were great.
Mm-hmm. I think facial expressions are just maybe I'm overthinking things, but it's kind of key to enjoying anime, right? We like Golden Kamuy because the funny moments are like improved by the facial expressions. People are talking a lot about kakeguri with the facial expressions,
Hmm.
and then here we got these crazy people acting similarly to kakeguri. You know, and then
Ish.
there's
Oh,
go ahead,
oh, no, that was it.
yeah, and then there's always like pictures of smug anime characters circling around Twitter or elsewhere. Just I think we appreciate facial expressions a lot in anime.
I think definitely. I mean, it really depends on what kind of show it is for me. Like, if
Mm-hmm.
it's a space opera, you're not going to focus it's on facial expressions, which that might be why they're not as popular these days.
That's true.
But I think you're absolutely right. Like, anything that's front animation or art wise is definitely like going to be main focus today.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I
art
guess
changes, facial expressions, they have something special to add to anime.
yeah, definitely. It's part of anime culture, I guess. Funny faces and weird faces and outlandish faces.
Yep.
I guess my last point is I was gonna say it's not like I'm overly adverse to like what's being shown on my whole shoujo site. I mean, I also read Berserk. I didn't watch the abomination known as the Berserk anime, but um, I guess those characters are also suffering for little to no reason other than to, because the author had them write it. But I don't know.
Hmm.
Maybe I'm having double standards here. It just Magical Girl Sight isn't a bad show. It's like an average show, but I'm not enjoying it. I guess.
Oh, fair enough. I'm
Yeah.
kind of wondering if I'm enjoying it.
Hmm.
I'm, I'm on that same boat of I'm not sure if I'm enjoying it or not.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. I'm sure Left will be if he was here, he would defend it's like to the death. He will die on this hill. He loves that show.
Yeah, he really does like dark stuff. It's just one of his things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's why he should be here.
Mm-hmm.
But oh well.
Yeah. Um Did you just want to end it here? Do you want to talk? Do you want us to talk about like one more show or?
I guess not really sure what to add, to be honest.
We're. I remember we were maybe thinking about talking about Megalobox and whether or not the kid's a good addition to the show.
Oh yeah.
I want to talk about Scrappy Doo, in other words.
Okay, let's talk about Scrappy Doo. Let's do it.
Okay. Let's start with Megalobox though. Basically, I think most people find the kid annoying. The kid that was picked up in episode 3, I think.
Yeah, so like at least Erie does, as far as I know.
Yeah, Arina hates that kid, and I can see it. It's like the show is supposed to be gritty. Ashito no Joe apparently started airing after World War II, and that this show kind of captures that kind of same atmosphere in a futuristic setting, of course, because they got robot arms,
which I really like.
which they're pretty sick. I really liked Real Steel.
Me too, movie. Actually. Yeah.
It's like kind of similar, a little different but similar. Yeah, and the kid kind of clashes against all that because this kid in particular is just, I don't know.
He's very kiddie.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to explain
He likes yelling. I mean, they all like yelling, I guess, but he just seems overly optimistic. Everyone else.
Take me with you. Take me with you.
Why?
Go away.
I totally forgot why he wants to go with them already.
I don't know either.
He's just there. For what? Is he supposed to bring in like kids to watch this? Are kids supposed to be watching this show? Ooh, why is he there?
I don't know. What does he add? I mean, he is technically the tech person, but then they had the coach building things. So.
And then now he's Gearless Joe, and he doesn't have any gear, so.
Exactly. Like.
I don't know.
Why is he there?
I don't know.
He's not as bad as he could be.
For sure. Yeah.
I mean,
he does
watched... Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You've watched
I watched too many sci-fi series where kids would run away and then the enemy is attacking and the heroes have to save the kids because the kids ran away. It's just like it wastes time, but this is that bad.
Yeah, I hate it when kids are like, I like that. I like kids, but like anime kids, it's like a coin flip. And this kid's
I like how as a converse, like Lupin sent a kids to a school or boarding school after episode 5.
I kind of wish she was stuck around, but she's not in the OP, so I knew she had to leave eventually.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I didn't know, but yeah. It's like it's like Lupin realized, oh yeah. We can't have this kid around the entire time. We just gotta send her off to boarding school.
Yeah, like I wish this kid had and Megalobox had same treatment or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he gets adopted. Oh. I don't know. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, but definitely the Scrappy Doo.
Yes. Yes. Scott and I have very strong feelings against Scrappy Doo. We somehow we transitioned to talking about Scrappy Doo when we were talking about the series on Twitter. And I feel like Scrappy Doo was thrown in to appeal to kids to watch Scooby Doo, which is not needed because Scooby Doo is a all age friendly show that appeals to everyone.
Best anime.
It's the best anime. It's the OG Western anime.
Yes.
Yes. Even though it only had like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, it's sometimes you don't mess with greatness until, you give them a bunch of spin-offs like a pup named Scooby-Doo and all that other crap. But Scrappy-Doo.
Scrappy-Doo.
Why was he included?
He just gets in the way. Let me pick off these fights with things that I can't fight, even though I want to. Or, like, let me do it, Uncle Scoob.
He's like knee-high to a mud pile, and he's trying to pick fights with people that are taller than his uncle. I mean, Bravito is cool, I guess, sometimes in, like, fictional shows. But, you know, it's just... There's a difference between, like, Bravito and reckless courage, you know? And Scrappy-Doo is just... annoying.
And reckless.
And reckless.
With courage.
Dang it, I was supposed to defend Scrappy-Doo. Because...
Wait, you were?
Yeah, because we...
Oh, that's right!
You and I both decided that, oh yeah, we can't be hating on this puppy, but I hate him so much, I can't defend him. He's just crap.
That's okay. I'm sure Les would defend him if he was here too.
Yeah. Oh well. Scrappy is crappy. That's the... If you take anything away from this episode, I hope you will know that. In our opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. Because everything's subjective. Well, do you think we should wrap up?
Probably it's a good idea.
Yeah. All right. So this was the 4th episode of the Innominate Podcast. You had 2 guys talking about anime. Mechanical Anime Reviews, aka Scott, and Remy Fool from the Lily Garden. We hope you enjoyed this podcast. If you would like to support us, just click like, subscribe, and follow us on Twitter.
And YouTube.
And YouTube. Yeah.
Yes.
You know. So, yeah, we're out there, I guess. Hopefully we'll get out the next episode before next month. Well, we'll have to see.
Who knows what happens? Like,
yeah.
Everybody gets involved with something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like, growing up sucks. That's another thing you should know. Growing up sucks.
Yes. Don't grow up.
Don't grow up.
Don't do it.
Your biggest mistake would be growing older than 10 years old.
Yes. Yes, it will be.
Yep. All right, that's all. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye. Now I need a quick pause.